Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about making money, how you make money on YouTube. I'm going to tell you about the process. I'm going to tell you exactly how it works. Then I'm going to talk to you about a couple different tips on how you can make your channel take off. And there's also a high road, or you can take a low road. Hopefully, you guys will take the high road. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to have some advice for new YouTubers. So stay tuned. All right, so I know a lot of people don't like ads, but let's be honest here. If it wasn't for ads, there'd be no YouTube as we know it. So ads kind of go with the territory. So now, the first thing you have to know is how advertising works. Okay? So what happens is, in a nutshell, and I'm going to try to be brief and try to stay right to the point with this video. Advertisers log in to YouTube and they create what's called a campaign. And in that campaign, they can lay out a bunch of parameters. For example, they can lay out the duration of the campaign and their budget. Now that's important because advertisers, they don't give YouTube a blank check. They do have a budget. So they start their campaign and they choose a lot of demographic variables. So they can choose who they want to target with their ad campaign. Remember, YouTube and Google, they know more about you than you probably know about you. So the advertiser can select, an age range they want to target, location, gender, salary range, all kinds of variables. And what YouTube does is it kind of acts as the glue in the middle. So it takes the advertiser and the viewer and brings them together. All right. Now, the advertiser can select which types of ads that they want to run on videos. Now, there's two different groups. There's the skippable ads, the ones that you watch it for a few seconds and you hit that skip ad button. And then there's the other types of ads like the bumper ads and the pop-up ads and that type of thing. And those two work a little bit differently. Okay, so the skippable ads, right now, the rule is if the advertiser is buying skippable ads, if you, the viewer, do not watch that ad for a minimum of 30 seconds or click on it, if there's a link, then the advertiser doesn't pay and the YouTuber does not get paid. Okay, so if you watch it though for a minimum of 30 seconds or you click on it, that makes what's called an impression, and then the advertiser's charge and then the YouTuber gets paid. Then there's the other ads. Okay, these other ads are basically use what's called the CPM, the cost per milli, and milli means thousand, right? So the advertiser is charged so much money for every 1,000 views of that ad on videos. Now, how much they pay depends. Advertisers do what are called auctions, okay? And those auctions, they can bid on how much they want to spend on their ads. And the advertisers that spend the most money are more likely to get their ads shown. So there's a bit of competition amongst the advertisers. And that's good. It's kind of a win-win for YouTubers. Because the more they compete, the more they spend, the more likely the YouTuber is to make a little bit of money. Now, how much they're willing to spend varies. And it depends on the type of video that you're doing. For example, vlogs and prank videos and those type of videos, they tend to be at the bottom of the barrel. So they tend to pay the least CPM for those types of videos. Now, the types of videos that I generally do, which are I think this genre is called the how-to and style genre on YouTube. It's kind of in the middle. But again, it depends on what videos you do. And, sometimes I do more like vlog type of videos. Sometimes I have power equipment or tools or whatever. Those tend to pay a little bit more. Then there's other genres that go way up, and I think the highest paying genre is finance. So if you're doing videos on, mortgages and credit cards and, different financial type of things, those types of advertisers are willing to pay a lot more because I guess they think people are watching those videos are going to spend more money because they want to spend money to make money. You see what I mean? So that, in a nutshell, is how advertising works. Now, let's talk about the YouTuber. First of all, before you can monetize your channel, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watched video. Now, this is something YouTube implemented a couple of years ago, and they raised the bar a little bit because, again, there's a lot of competition, a lot of competition for those advertising dollars. Here's a fun fact that you may or may not know. Every 1 minute, 500 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube. That's a lot. That's an amazing number. Okay, so they're trying to weed things out and make sure that the channels that are monetized are good quality channels. You have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, so you're not trying to cheat or fake anything. You're engaged in the community and all of that good stuff. I think that's their line of thinking as far as I understand it. How much you're going to get paid really varies. Okay, again, it depends on the type of video that you're doing. And have you ever noticed some channels almost seem like infomercials? Especially in this genre, where, the outdoor off-grid type of thing. Every video is a new piece of equipment, a new power tool, a new something. Well, that's done by design. That's not an accident. That's done by design. And that's because those types of videos in this genre tend to pay a lot more. All right. Also, the time of the year matters. Actually, you can kind of watch your analytics and watch them drop, through January, February, and March, and then they kind of level off through the summer. But in September, it starts to take off again. So September, October, November, towards Black Friday, and then into Christmas, yep, you guessed it. That's because people are spending money. So advertisers are willing to spend more money. They're buying more ads, and they're paying more money, more CPM, to have those ads shown on videos. So September to December is a good time of year for YouTubers. Okay, so again, it's really hard to give a magic number on how much a YouTuber makes because there are so many variables that go into it. Also, not every view is monetized. Now, for example, I was looking at a video a while back, one of my videos, and I was looking at the analytics, and I think I had 25,000 views, but only 20,000 monetized views. That's about 5,000 views that weren't monetized for some reason, okay? So I lost about a fifth right there. So about 5,000 people watched that video ad-free. So why is that? Well, there could be several reasons. One, maybe there's no advertising available for whatever reason. Maybe the person who was watching the video didn't fit any of the advertisers' criteria, the demographics that they're trying to target. So those things can happen. Maybe there wasn't enough advertising dollars available, bad time of the year, who knows, right? There's a bunch of different variables that can go into that. But yeah, sometimes it's just, it depends on who's watching the video. Here's a simple example, okay? Let's say I have a channel on motorcycles and I have a video, and Harley Davidson is an advertiser and they want to advertise. Harley Davidson, they want to target a certain group of people. They're going to target their primary market, which is, well, the US, Canada, a certain salary range, people who have interest in motorcycles and have the money that are likely to buy a Harley Davidson, okay? So, the chances are, if you fit that criteria, you're probably going to get an ad from Harley Davidson. But let's say, you know, you're in Europe or Australia. Well, then maybe if you still fit some of the criteria, you might see an ad. You could still buy a Harley Davidson, but you're probably not as likely, right? Because that's like a secondary market. And, you know, just for the sake of examples, let's say you're an 80-year-old woman from Uzbekistan and, you know, you make about $500 a year. For some reason, you're watching my video. I don't know why, but let's say you are. Well, you know what? Harley Davidson's probably not going to advertise to her because there's no chance she's going to buy a motorcycle. As a matter of fact, neither would probably Suzuki or, you know, Honda or any other manufacturer. She might get the Grammarly advertisement, but even that's not a guarantee. Even Grammarly might say, yeah, you know what? She doesn't kind of fit what we're trying to target. So that's how that works. Okay, so making money on a YouTube video is all about views. You have to have people viewing your videos. So how do you do that? What's the secret? How do you get people there? You got to think of it like this, okay? People generally watch YouTube for one of two reasons. Either they want to learn how to do something or they want to be entertained. Okay? A lot of people, I do it myself, you know, like YouTube gives you recommendations, and I'll be scrolling through my recommendations looking for something to watch, something to entertain myself. What's the first thing that catches your eye? The thumbnail. That's right. It's that thumbnail. So that is one of the most important things that you can do for your video. Now, some people might not know that, especially new YouTubers. You might not know that, but now you do. Your thumbnail is everything because it's the first thing that the viewer's eye catches in their recommendations, and it registers. So you have to have a thumbnail that's going to stand out. You got to have something that's going to catch the eye of that viewer, and they're going to say, I want to click on that video. So the first thing they do is they zero in on the thumbnail. Then the second thing they probably do is read the title. So if they kind of get a match there, and they, especially with that thumbnail, they're likely to click on your video. If they click on your video, then the rest is magic, okay? Because then they're going to see the ads, and the YouTuber's going to start making money. So you have to have an engaging thumbnail. Now, this is where it gets interesting. How do you make that thumbnail? Well, you really got to put a lot of thought into it and try to do it, I think, honestly. This is what I talked about earlier. You can take the high road or you can take the low road, okay? Because the thumbnail is everything. Now, I'll tell you a little story. A few weeks ago, I was looking at a channel. It was an off-grid channel, and it was this couple. I'm not going to mention the name of the channel because I don't care. I'm just making a point, and, you know, people can do whatever they want to do. So I was looking at this channel, and, you know, standard couple, they have an off-grid place, and, you know, looking at their videos, you know, they had 10,000 views, 10,000 views. They were doing okay, you know. And then all of a sudden, one video, 7.2 million views. As a matter of fact, I checked it just before I made this video, and it's now at 7.5 million views, this one video. So 7.5 million views. Wow. That is amazing. So what did they do? How did they do it? Any guesses? If you said clickbait, you're right. They clickbaited 7.5 million people into clicking on that thumbnail and watching that video. So what did they do? All right. They faked the thumbnail. They took a picture. And again, it's a couple. And she is actually really nice looking. And she takes her shirt off, facing away from the camera so you don't see anything. And she's standing in front of their off-grid place in a really nice pose. And you know what? 7.5 million guys clicked that thumbnail. And, you know, I mean, you know, she's a really nice looking girl, so obviously, but I mean, you know, you should realize that you're probably not going to see her running around with her shirt off, okay? It's totally faked. It's 100% clickbait. They completely made it up. She's not in the video like that. And, you know, yeah, so that's how they did it. Now, if you go to that video, you'll notice a lot of thumbs down. You'll also notice a lot of negative comments about being clickbaited. You know, people are upset about that. Nobody likes being clickbaited. But do you think they cared? No, they did not care. They laughed all the way to the bank, because thumbs down and negative comments does not affect how much money you make on YouTube. It's all about the views. It's all about the advertisements watched. Okay, so 7.5 million guys watched that video, and you know, and watched all the advertisements, hoping to see something that wasn't there. And yep, they laughed all the way to the bank. As a matter of fact, I can make an educated guess on how much money they made on that video, and I could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess somewhere's around $40,000 to $50,000 for one 20-minute video. $40,000 to $50,000. Could be more, but man, maybe it could be a little bit less, but I don't think it's too much less. Anyways, whatever it is, it's a heck of a lot of money. It's a big payday for a 20-minute video. And for them, that's what they wanted. They wanted to make the money, and it worked. And you know what? They didn't change their formula, because if you look at all their other videos after that, and they're all hovering around that 1 million view mark, every one of them, they did the exact same thing. Her shirt off, facing away from the camera in some sort of pose, and whatever. It's totally faked. But again, they're laughing all the way to the bank. They don't really care that they're clickbaiting people. So obviously, in my mind, they don't really care a lot about their channel either, if it's all about clickbait and making money. But whatever, again, that's why I'm not naming the channel, because I couldn't care less. They can do whatever they want to do, you know, whatever. You will also notice a lot of other channels, especially in this genre, like I said, this off-grid, outdoors, whatever type of videos. You'll also notice that whenever there's a couple and she's easy on the eyes, she's in every thumbnail. I'm thinking of another channel right now, and it's not clickbait. They do what I call smart bait because, you know, she's in every video, and she's actually doing these things. It's actually a thumb from the video, which is okay. But it's smart because, you know what? So there's this very attractive woman standing there with a chainsaw. There she is with a tractor. There she is with the sawmill, etc., etc., etc. So honestly, when guys see this, they click. So again, it's about getting people to their channel and watching the advertisements and making money. That's smart bait because she's actually in the videos doing whatever, you know, that thumbnail suggests. So I don't have a problem with that. By the way, just one other thing about the other channel that was clickbaiting. You know, they're also playing the odds too, because it's win-win, because not only are they making a small fortune, but you know what, out of 7.5 million people that go to that video that got clickbaited or whatever, you know, there's probably a portion of those people who actually enjoyed the content and, you know, probably subscribed and probably gave a thumbs up. So it's kind of win-win for them. So you can do that. You can smart bait, or if you don't have an attractive better half, you're just going to have to do the best you can to make, you know, an attractive thumbnail on your own, and hopefully one that will stand out against all the others and that will make people click on it when it's in their recommendations. Because once it goes into the recommendations and once people start clicking on it, then hopefully you'll, what I call, win the YouTube lottery, because those algorithms will pick up on that and they'll say, oh, people are clicking on this. This is something people like, people want to see. This is how the other video, the clickbait one, went to 7.5 million, because everybody was clicking on that and the algorithms picked up on it. And it's kind of like that snowball effect. And the more it shows it in recommendations, the more people click on it, and so on and so forth. And that's how it works. Advice for new YouTubers. You know what? YouTube is a tough business. There's a lot of people on YouTube right now. There's a lot of video being uploaded. You know, so if you're new to being a YouTuber, I hope you're doing it because you like it and enjoy it. And for me, that's the main reason to do it. Money is kind of secondary. If you want to do it to make an income, you better dedicate yourself to it, and you better have some patience, because there are so many people doing it right now. Almost everything is covered. It's a very hard thing, I think, to break into. You got to think of YouTube as like a pyramid, and there's only so much room for people at the top. There's only so many people that can fit up here. Everybody has to start down here at the bottom. And you know, at this point in time, you know, it's not like 10 years ago. I think, you know, people had it broke into it 10 years ago. Those people were smart. They kind of established themselves as a base. But now it's ballooned like crazy. There's so much out there, so much content to choose from. I mean, just in this kind of genre by itself, this off-grid cabins type of outdoorsy, you know, videos, there are so many channels out there. There's just tons. You know, I discover new ones all the time. There's no end to it. So it's a pretty tough business to break into. So my advice, if you enjoy it, don't give up. If you like making the videos, make the videos. You know, as a matter of fact, I will tell you this, some of my favorite channels that I watch are smaller ones. And it's a shame when I see, to me, a smaller channel kind of give up and stop making videos. I know there's not a lot of incentive. I know it's hard to get to 1,000, and even then, you're not going to make much money. But, you know, sometimes I find those smaller channels, the content is much more genuine because they're not making money. You know, they're not making things up. Some of the bigger channels, you know, like you've either got an infomercial type of channels, or, you know, they're just making stuff up. I mean, you know, God, how many times do you need to change the roof on your cabin in the run of a year? Or how many outbuildings do you need to build? I mean, it's endless. It's like all they do is build, and buy all these new tools and equipment. But they're doing it just to make videos. So for me personally, that's why I kind of enjoy the smaller channels, because it's genuine content. So guys, if you're new, you know, don't quit. Keep it up if you like it. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I hope you succeed. So with that said, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I want to thank everybody for watching. I tried to keep this video somewhat short and to the point. I hope now everybody watching has a better understanding of how money is made on YouTube, and you know, that it is a tough business. And but anyways, for me, it's enjoyable. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe, hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified of new videos. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you want. I appreciate the support. Definitely leave me some comments below. Let me know if I missed anything or if I made any mistakes. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Drop your comments below. I do try to read every one, and I do look forward to them. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you soon back here at the cabin.